Samsung has just announced the Galaxy Z Fold 7. But if you've had a Z Fold SE like I have for the past 8 months, you already know what you're getting. Welcome back to SamMobile TV. You're here with Daniel. At an event in Sydney last week, I got hands-on with everything Samsung has announced at Unpacked just today. Well, almost everything. We've also got our live videos of the Flip 7, Flip 7 Fan Edition, and the Watch 8 and Watch 8 Classic. You can go and check out them as well. This video, we're focusing on the Fold. And I got to tell you, even though I have got a Fold Special Edition, getting to see the Fold 7 and what Samsung have done with it was an out-of-body religious experience. That might be a bit hyperbole, but honestly, it's pretty close. Let's start with the design. Reaching out for it and then holding it for that first time, you truly are captivated. The design of the Z Fold 7 is everything that Samsung should be striving or should have strived for the past few years. They had a bit of a setup of all the previous folds there, and you can sort of see the progression, but this is by far the biggest generational jump that they have made. It's thinner and lighter than the Fold 6, and it's thinner and lighter than the Fold Special Edition. It is just 8.9 millimeters when closed, and then 4.2 millimeters thin when open. It barely covers the USB-C port. And that millimeterage, I guess you could call it, covers the lip as well. It's not just the body, it's sort of the whole thing when open. But you really have to look at it from the side profile and both closed with the hinge and when it's open, sort of flat, to see how well Samsung have made this thing and how thin it is. And like the S25 Edge, it's not just about how thin it is, it's about how light it is. 215 grams it weighs, which is a drastic difference to what we had last year, both with the Fold 6 and the Fold Special Edition. In terms of dimensions, you're actually getting the same as what you got here with the Fold Special Edition. It's a 6.5-inch cover screen, which unfolds into an 8-inch inner display. The thing is, holding them sort of next to each other and then sort of having them stacked on top of each other, the dimensions are the same. Give or take a fraction of a millimeter around the hinge area, because the Fold 7 does slim down that hinge. It's because they've got a new hinge in here, which is actually really strong and bouncy and springy. I was very surprised when I was using it. I didn't get a lot of time to investigate the crease. Our hands-on time was quite limited, but I would say that it's about the same as what the starting point of the Special Edition was when you sort of look down the middle of it. The internal display, whilst beautiful, is sort of missing something, or at least it's gained something from last year. The selfie camera is now visible. That's what I mean by gained. The under-display camera is gone, and I guess in its place, Samsung have replaced it with a good one. It's now a 10-megapixel camera versus just 4. The Fold Special Edition also did not have an under-display camera, but this was still the same camera that was on the Fold 6, 4 megapixels. And this new camera is 100 degrees field of view, which means that you're going to be able to fit more people in. I didn't get a chance to test it though. But you also have a brand new camera setup on the Fold 7. Well, brand new in terms of global release folds. It's the same setup that's on here with the Fold Special Edition. A 12 megapixel ultra wide that has dual pixel autofocus, which can do macro shots, a 200 megapixel main camera, same here as what's on the Fold Special Edition and the S25 Ultra, and a 3 times 10 megapixel telephoto. Definitely the weakest camera of the bunch, that camera. The 200 megapixel main camera had to be trimmed down in the same way the S25 Edge did in order to achieve the thin profile that the Z Fold 7 has got. And boy, it makes a difference. I just can't get over it. Honestly, when you're holding it, it's so close to a normal phone. In fact, it feels way more normal than another slab smartphone does. And yeah, it's captivating. It's running the 8 Elite for Galaxy. No surprise. Samsung have run that on all their foldables up until the Flip 7 this year. They've run the latest Snapdragon, and the 8 Elite for Galaxy is no exception. Disappointingly, I guess for some people, it's paired with the same capacity, 4,400 milliamp hours of battery. I think it's impressive that they've been able to fit that capacity in a phone this slim. I just happen to have got an original Fold here, and this had a 4,380 milliamp hour capacity. And when you consider how thick this phone is compared to the Fold Special Edition and even the Fold 7 now, it's got a bigger capacity than what's in here. Obviously, no silicon carbon. Again, if the S25 Edge has proved anything to us, it's that it might not need it just yet. You've got 12 gigabytes of RAM on the 256 and 512 gigabyte variants, and 16 gigabytes on the 1 terabyte. Again, 16 gigabytes of RAM was on here. Another omission, I guess, from the core Galaxy Z Fold lineup, not special edition related, is the lack of S Pen support. It seems to be a casualty of making the device this slim, in that it loses that digitizer layer. There was no mention of any sort of special S Pen coming out either, so all those rumors, I'm not sure where they've come from, but at least in our briefing, no one talked about it. And then, of course, it's running One UI 8 out of the box, but we kind of already know everything that's coming with One UI 8. There was a couple of things that we didn't know at the time, and then I've now seen them on the S25 Ultra. Instant audio eraser, and it's in more places. It's in Samsung Notes. It's also in Voice Recorder, and it's in the gallery, the little toggle that allows you to instantly audio erase something as you're viewing it. And there was also something that really took advantage of the foldable form factor, side-by-side Galaxy AI editing. So when you've got a photo that you've taken and you want to clear something off the table, for example, when it's open and you're removing something, when you hit Show Original, it'll actually show you in a side-by-side the photos next to each other with it there and with it not there. I didn't see this, or I didn't get to test this, but when you zoom in on one photo, it then zooms in on the other at the same spot, so you can kind of compare them next to each other. That's just taking advantage of the foldable form factor, and I really liked it. I honestly was not sure what to expect from the Fold 7. Having used the Fold Special Edition for a while, I was kind of, I guess, expecting something similar, but even if you've used this, the Fold 7 feels like a giant step forward in hardware and form factor. It takes what is great about foldables and great about slab phones and literally meshes them together. Because now you have under 9 millimeters of thickness when closed, which is about what phones have been, especially ones like the Ultras from the past few generations, and sort of brings that into the foldable market, because then you can unfold it and you get an extremely thin profile tablet that you can put away into your pocket. We will obviously be getting our hands on a Fold 7 here at SamMobile, so make sure you hit subscribe to us. Go check out our website. We've got full in-depth coverage of everything that's happened at Unpacked. Pre-order if you want using the link in the description, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks.